Okay, wrestling fans, pro wrestling fans, Generating Heat will be in the house tonight, checking in. We'll be talking with JG and myself. Who knows, maybe some other folks will want to chime in with their own videos or the discussion threads. JG is going to set it all up. Mike Messier here. As far as this Extreme Rules pay-per-view, look, I don't think there's huge expectations going into this pay-per-view. I mean, I think the most interesting thing is what can they do with Bobby Lashley and Roman Reigns. Obviously, the Roman Reigns, push for the most part. I mean, it seems like 80 to 90% of the live audiences, whether they're for a Raw or a pay-per-view, are decidedly against Roman Reigns on any given night. And a lot of people say, well, that's not the merchandise sales and that's not the house shows. Maybe not, but I can just judge it by what I see. As far as Bobby Lashley goes, yeah, I mean, this guy goes way back. I mean, we're talking 2006, 2007, a run with the U.S. title, a run with the UCW title, being Vince McMahon's, or the guy to shave Vince McMahon's head, in that whole Donald Trump thing, going way, way back, I think, to WrestleMania 23. But I just, it's hard to say what's going to happen tonight. I mean, I think it would be interesting if they let Bobby somehow win and then get him into the ring with Brock. That would be interesting. I mean, if they're going to continue to press on with Roman and just eventually give Roman the title over Brock at SummerSlam and then do some type of run-in with the Money in the Bank for Braun. A lot of people are predicting that. Tonight really might be defined by Hulk Hogan. Apparently Hogan's already tweeted, if that was actually Hogan tweeting, that he was welcomed back by the WWE superstars, and perhaps Hulk will make a Hulkamania appearance tonight, in which case I kind of made a video myself on February 5th of 2018. I made a video claiming or calling for Vince McMahon to bring Hogan back, simply because Hogan or Vince could pass away, as in die, and not rectify this situation or build this bridge. And look, some people will never forgive Hogan, and I can't criticize those folks. I've talked to friends of mine that they were so offended and so hurt. I think it's really about being hurt, because I think for a lot of people, Hogan's painful words or his cavalier statements were painful, and I can understand that. My thing really is, as far as we know, Hogan wasn't knowing that he was being videotaped. So I have a real issue with people kind of being held to task for things they say when they didn't agree to be taped. So I put the priority on privacy. Some people put the priority on content and the offensiveness of the statements. Okay. Hey, buddy. So we've got a whole situation going on tonight. We'll see what happens. As far as other potential big matches, I mean, Alexa Bliss is in action, I think, once again against Nia Jax. I mean, look, I like those two as a storyline with Ronda at ringside. Should be interesting. I guess her 30-day suspension from Raw has been served. Maybe that's why Raw ratings went down. If you tell people that the #1 female star, crossover mixed martial arts UFC star, is not going to be there for 30 days, why are you surprised when the Raw ratings go down to the worst they've ever been? If anyone's been following me the last couple of days, you know that I've been very irate, very upset with some things been going on, not just in WWE, but old videos I've seen that I've finally taken a look at. I mean, the first thing I saw really was that Young Bucks thing where they're super kicking a kid at his birthday party. Then you saw the thing, or I saw the thing, with 10 of the top wrestlers in the business right now: Tommaso Ciampa, Jushin Liger, this Chuck Taylor people rave about, Matthew Riddle people rave about, and they're all kind of sticking their thumbs in each other's buttocks. And I mean, it sounds funny to say that, or weird, but it's just it's a point of discussion that's really made me upset. And I don't know if anyone can say anything to consult me about that. I'm sure people just blow it off and say it's no big deal and it's just part of the fun, and I just don't think it's fun. I just think it's disgusting and disgusting. Jeffrey the Giraffe from Toys R Us recently getting into the wrestling business, and I commented that was disgusting, and some people took me to task for that. Actually, the guy who promoted the show with Jeffrey the Giraffe and Gangrel, and you might have seen this little clip, and I guess he defended himself by saying, hey, look, this is a fantasy wrestling con, you know, I do this. He does these, Jeffrey the Giraffe or whatever the fuck's, at these fantasy conventions. And Jeffrey was, you know, a wrestling con where people just dress up. To which case I can get that a little bit better, but why then is a professional like Gangrel doing that thing? And I guess the answer is because he's a vampire. So, I mean, I guess really, you know, the name of the show I do with Cole Sharf is What Have They Done to Our Sport? And I stand by that name. Anyway, folks, I'm going into the 6th minute. I don't want to hog up too much time, but I did want to provide some content. If you're watching the show tonight alone, you're not alone, because you've got JG, you've got Mike Messier, maybe Cole Sharf will chime in, maybe some other special guests. I did get to visit Brian Danovich, a former Tough Enough contestant. Went up to his home in New York last week. We had a fine meal at Applebee's, doing the Tully Blanchard and Arn Anderson thing, eating at Applebee's. Right now, I just got my laundry. I have a fresh batch of t-shirts to wear for the week, and undergarments and everything else that you'd expect me to wear as a human being. Going to get into my vehicle and check out the show. I'm still hanging with this thing called pro wrestling. I always feel like I'm going to stop watching, and I keep watching. So maybe you guys are in the same boat. Mike Messier. Always check out MikeMessier.com. Tonight, Generating Heat, doing Extreme Rules. We'll see if it's any good. We'll all get through this. We'll all get through this together, guys.